Ugu, man. We back in here once again, man. Back to the knowledge, man. I hope that last bill helped y'all to helped you to understand what's going on. Um, we're gonna get into Homestead and what that's about. When it comes to tracing your genealogies, is many roles and aspects that you can take. Like I told you, I'm only gonna share with you which I've tested to know myself that works. You feel me? Once again, these are some of the same tactics that I've been using, and they have um, been fruitful, bro. So, Homestead, that pretty much is individuals that may have purchased property a while ago, but there's an avenue you can take to figure out what type of land properties these individuals might have been in possession of. This is why I tell you that oral history is very important. And it's important because you come into situations such as tracing land property. You feel me? My next build I'm gonna do is on how to properly trace a grave, so you know how to find your ancestors and shit like that. Because a lot of people don't even know how to do that. You feel me? So your genealogy entails more than just you matching names on a website. You feel me? That's probably the easiest route that you can take out of all of this. So, um, like I said once before, you got different ways you can look at stuff, patents, um, transportation records. I had a grandfather that came over here on some type of boat system. You feel me? Not a slave boat, but on some type of boating system, transportation system. So, I mean, there's certain things that you have to look for. You just need to know what it is you're looking for. Um, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. Blessed be the motherfucking tribe, man. We in here. Once again, I appreciate everybody coming out, man, but showing their love. Y'all showed a lot of love on that last bill, man. And I appreciate y'all for that. So what we're gonna get into today is understanding what a homesteader is. What does this entail? Why is this important? And here you're gonna get a short breakdown. This video was no longer than I think I want to say like 8 minutes, something like that. So we gonna go ahead and get into it, man. And hopefully y'all enjoy the build, you know, and let's stick to the information, man. Like I always said, man, stay away from the drama. It's a New Year's, new goals, man. Let's really do this, man. Got a lot of people watching us right now. We are the talk of the community. So let me get myself out of here. Let her do her thing. You feel me? Let's get it.
Have you discovered that your ancestor received homestead land from the federal government? Have you ordered the full land entry case file? If not, you're in for a treat. Let's take a look at all the wonderful clues in that case file. Hi, I'm Melissa Finley. Welcome to Boundless Genealogy, where I help you squeeze more clues out of the documents you find in your family history search so you can grow your family tree with confidence and skill. Please subscribe and join me here for every episode. In a previous video, I talked about the Homestead Act of 1862 and how it enticed millions of Americans to move west to obtain free land. Homesteaders could receive 160 acres of public land for 5 years of continuous residence and improving the property over those 5 years. Let's take a look at how to obtain the full land entry case file and the wonderful clues that it contains. Here is our map showing the density of the homestead claims per state. you will notice that the western middle of the country was the most heavily claimed of all of the land. So, how do we find out if our ancestor was a homesteader? We go to the Bureau of Land Management General Land Office website. And all these websites that I'm mentioning in this video, I will put the links down in the description so you will be able to access them, no problem. Here I have done a search on the patent documents and found a homestead record for Bertha and William C. Barton in Oklahoma. And you can see here that it says this is a
These
homestead
websites work,
original
yo.
entry. And it gives us some document numbers. Those are important. And the homestead entry original status means that they really did claim these acres and live on it for 5 years and improve it enough to get the final patent issued to them after those 5 years. The BLM website also allows us to download a copy of the land patent document that our ancestor received when they finally did prove up their claim on the land. But that is not the only document that was generated by
Bureau of Land Management, BLM, not Black Lives Matter.
What we really want to do is go get the entire case file with all of the documents that our ancestor had to give in order to claim this 160 acres of land. And we do that by going to the National Archives website. They still hold all of these original case files. So if we go to the National Archives website and we click on Land Files, and then we go to Land Entry Files, the current price to order a land entry file through the National Archives is currently $50. All right, and then we can choose which way we want to receive it, whether we want a digital file or whether we want them to send us a paper copy of the file. And it says that they usually take 60 to 90 days to be able to send you.
Yeah, they will charge you for certain things. That's why I say certain shit you run into,
another
they're gonna want
service
a fee to give you certain paperwork.
and that
so
is Twisted Twigs Genealogy. I am not affiliated with this company, but I am a happy customer. I have enjoyed using their service. I find them to be less expensive and faster at getting me the files that I need from the National Archives. So in this case, you go to their website, the link will be down in the description, and you go to their shop and click on Land Files. You turn in the information about the specific land that your ancestor was homesteading, and they will get you the entire file. So here is the file that I requested for William C. and Bertha Barton's homestead claim in Oklahoma. It is 28 pages long. Now, a few of those are duplicate pages just to make sure that I got a good clean copy of the document. But in general, it is around 24 pages long in total of this entry file. So as you can see, you don't want to miss out on ordering this if your ancestor was a homesteader. There's a lot in this packet. So first we have things like the application file cover telling us the application number. And this number matches the one that you would have found at the BLM website, which is why that number is important in order to order the correct homestead file.
Understand this as well too. This won't apply to everybody.
It gives a legal description of the land.
It applies to a lot more than we think.
When the homestead was complete. All right, so we just go through and there's document after document describing the process that these folks went through in order to claim their land. The fees they paid, right here we have a receipt for $4 that Bertha Barton paid at the conclusion of filing the claim for her land. We have affidavits and all sorts of other documents that are contained in this file. All right, it just goes on and on. Testimonies of witnesses, testimonies of claimants, affidavits for the final claim.
Affidavits
there's
too.
Lots of things in here.
They tell a lot.
So what do I do when I receive a file like this that I have ordered?
Document.
Well, I will tell you, I open a new research report. Don't be scared away by this. It's just a Word document. I open up a new Word document and I begin transcribing the entire file. Yes, the entire 28 pages. Although I don't copy the duplicates over, I just make sure that all the information from each duplicate is really included. I write a citation for the packet and usually for each page as well, so I know specifically what I'm looking at. Now, I do have to say one thing, besides for just transcribing it, so I make sure I don't miss any of the clues in the documents contained in this case file, the case file is not necessarily in chronological order. You know, the papers are just in there and it's kind of random which order they're in. So since the PDF version of this case file is going to be in the original order I received it in, I go ahead and put things in chronological order as I transcribe them into my research report. So I just go document by document and I transcribe all of it and I put it into chronological order. I love the chronological aspect because then instead of looking at kind of haphazardly in the case file, I can come back to my transcript and I can say, okay, first, this is what happened with this homestead claim. Then this is what happened. And then they had to prove this. And then they had to, put affidavit or put notices of the land in the newspaper. There's a lot of little elements that went into the process of claiming homestead land. And so when I put it chronologically, I get a much better idea of what was happening over time with the land and with the family that I am researching. So this just goes on and I just continue to write out all the clues in this document. As you can imagine, in 28 pages of this case file, there are a lot of clues that help us with our genealogy research. I just want to go over some of the highlights of these, and there is a lot. It's really amazing what this record holds, and you will really want to order this for your ancestor after you see. So what does this record tell us? William C. Barton started the homestead process for this land in Oklahoma on the 2nd of December, 1891. And he paid a filing fee of $14 to start the process. It does state, one of the things that the homesteaders had to attest to was, have you already had homestead land before? Have you already claimed land? And where is that? Because then they wouldn't be eligible for this land. And he states, I filed for a homestead in Ness County, Kansas at the Kansas Land Office in 1882 or 83. But I abandoned the land right away. So already this is awesome though, because this gives me a clue about where this family was moving to. At some point they thought land in Kansas might be great. So they went and claimed some, but then they went to it and they're like, I changed my mind. This does not look like where I want to settle. So they just abandoned that claim and now they're claiming land in Oklahoma in 1891. So if you're not sure where your ancestor went, that's just a great clue right there. By August of 1898, Bertha Barton comes into the office and gives notice of the intention to make her final proof. So let's look again. The original process was started in December of 1891, and then in 1898, she's coming to give final proof. So this is about 6.5 years later, a little longer than the 5 years that is the minimum, but there was really no maximum length before they could come back. So they've been there for 6.5 years and she's coming to make final, give notice of intention to make final proof. All right. So she gives her notice to the land office and they tell her in return, you need to publish the notice of that you're going to receive this land, the final land claim, and you need to publish it in the local newspaper for 3 consecutive weeks. And this was to allow anyone in the local area to come and dispute the claim and say, oh no, she hasn't been staying there the whole time, or I've been staying there instead, or any other dispute that they would like to bring up. So this is a legal notice in the newspaper. And she gives proof that from September 3rd to October 14th, 1898, the notice was published in the local paper. Another thing that is given throughout these documents is a really good description of the property and the ways that the family had improved it over time. And these details have been collected from several of the different affidavits in this, but together it just creates such a picture. So the land was prairie land. The family cultivated about 100 acres of the total land for 7 seasons before making the final claim. They were able to cultivate 18 acres the first year. They also added a sod and box house completed by the 1st of January 1892. So that was the first thing they did. They got there in December. They built a house by January. The house is 16 by 18 with a kitchen 10 by 12 and a total of 3 rooms. They also added to the property a granary, a red and black barn,
I'm only
a
concerned
hen
about the
house,
info.
2 wells,
Charles Clark.
and 200-tree
You feel
orchard,
me? I
and
don't give a
two and a
fuck how a
quarter
nigga look.
miles of
Like I
three
said
and
at
a
the beginning of
chain
this shit,
wire fence for a
is
total
these are
value
methods
of
that I've tried, that I
$500.
put to the
But you
test
really
that
get a
works.
sense of this farm family
That's
and all
moving me
of the
forward, propelling me forward
improvements they're
in my
making to the land to
genealogy.
make it
I'm not
profitable
with that.
and
Oh, bro,
manageable
you don't
for
look like
a
me. She don't look
family.
like me. Well, the ones that do ain't on shit
Here's
anyway.
some other things that
But I ain't
are
gonna get to
hidden
that part.
in these documents. William C. Barton died on the 14th of July, 1898, and was buried on the homestead near the house on the 15th of July, 1898. And this was witnessed to be true by S.M. Woolsey and Thomas Everly. So William C. Barton started this homestead process, and then his wife is coming about a month after he dies to finally prove the land, saying, I am the widow. He has passed away, and here's my proof, and here are my witnesses that this has happened. Bertha testifies that she is 45 years old at the time of the final claim on the 19th of October, 1898. That gives us great information about her possible birth year. She also states this, and this is valuable because her origins are not well known, so all of this information is great. She states, my husband was born in New York. I was born in Germany and came to this country when very young. My father died in Germany. Wow, that is great information. So, born in Germany, came as a young child, potentially with her mother. It doesn't state that. She came with someone. If she's a young child, she's coming with someone. And her father died in Germany, although she does not say her father died before she came, her father died after she came, but he never came to the United States. He died in Germany. All right, what else do we get? We get a long list of witnesses who knew the Bartons. We get some 5 different witnesses that knew them in Oklahoma. This is great. These are friends, associates, and neighbors that may have other records pertaining to the Bartons. After
That's
all
another
of those
thing in witness
clues,
list, bro. I've
as with
seen that.
any
I've
genealogical
seen like
document
family and
or
friends.
record that you
Of
find,
course, I've
it
never
will
met them
always lead you somewhere
because
else. So where does
so long
this
ago.
particular
But
record
yeah,
lead us?
the witness shit,
Well,
bro.
first of
That's
all, we
another
have a
thing too.
lot of details to add to our timeline for this family. We get information about when they were coming into Oklahoma for this claim. We get the information about Bertha's age, and we get the information about William Barton's death and burial. We can also look into those associates and witnesses to see if, as we research them, there is any other connection beyond just neighbors, if there are any other documents they generated during their lifetime that give us insight into our ancestors. We also have additional details about Bertha's origins. And again, as I said, we know that she came young to this country, maybe with her mother, we don't know. Her father died in Germany before or after she came, we don't know. But these are things we can look into now that we have that. Weren't those rich genealogical clues that were found in the Homestead case file? If you know that your ancestor was a homesteader but haven't ordered this file yet, I highly encourage you to. You may be surprised at all the many details contained in the full entry file. We'll see you next time.
So my whole point, right, of sharing this with you, of course she did it in the hold on, let me turn my phone back. Of course she did it in a way that she was comfortable with, which is what we all have to do. We all have to take a different lane with it. We can use the same process because I'm using the same process. You feel me? But the reason I shared this is so you can get an understanding that there are other methods outside of, like I said, matching names online when it comes to your genealogy. This I said this once before, bro. Like, this shit is a hell of a job, a hell of a task, bro. Like, you're gonna have to put in work, bro. Like she said, a lot of this stuff it's not done for you. It's not in alphabetical order. You gotta search. You gotta use proper keywords, things of this nature, bro. But it's really not that hard. Once you start to obtain it, you feel me? Then it is different than when you just started out. Because it's always rough. We don't know what waters we diving into. We trying to learn how to do this the right way. So it's what I mean. It's a little trial. But once you get into the methods of how to use it, you feel me? What it's for, then it becomes easier. You feel me? So, like I said, my next build is gonna be on. I'm just sticking to the information. I'm just trying to find things that's relevant that I know individuals can use to propel them forward. You feel me? I see a lot of people asking questions, definitely in the Indian community, but there's so much drama going on. You feel me? People are barely getting their genealogy done. Questions and ideas that they have about the genealogy is barely getting done. You feel me? So um, that's what I'm gonna keep doing, bro. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, my next build is it's gonna be how to properly trace grave sites, bro. So you can trace your ancestors and loved ones, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's other things you gotta couple with it in order to make sure you tracing the proper individual. But that's gonna be another thing that I think is important that people can really, you know, utilize, man. Once again, man, I appreciate y'all coming out, man, supporting me, man. Supporting the page. I told y'all, man, I'm coming back with a vengeance. You feel me? Because unlike most of these niggas, I can get up here and really put it in, bro. I can read, I can write, I can edit, I can. So it's really, I'm gonna start using that to help y'all to focus on y'all. Last year, niggas lost their way a little bit, but everything is back to how it's gonna be, man. You know what I'm saying? Blessed with the tribe always. It's always good to see y'all. I'm always, you know, appreciative to be able to come and share some things with you that's been on my mind. You know what I'm saying? In hopes that it helps you to get to where you're trying to go, man. But Ooga Ooga, y'all already know the vibes, man. You in here with the hood Indian, man. We out here for real. You feel me? Be safe, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just got with this flu. It was a wave that came through here, boy. The NC, boy. This shit swept through. You feel me? I end up getting caught up in it. But we back and we better than ever, man. We built for this. Like I tell them, you gotta come harder than that. Like, you feel me? So, bless be the tribe, man. I love y'all, man. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace.